Hello and happy Tuesday. And if you're watching on the replay, hello and happy Tuesday. Hi, Robin. How is everyone doing today? Hello, hello. As you are popping on, say hello. I'm starting a few minutes early just so we can give everybody some time to get on. So we'll start with our demo right at 7, which is in a couple of minutes. We are going to be talking about the Distress watercolor pencils one more time. Talk about a couple, or another technique that Tim showed in his. Hey, Gabrielle. All right, now I know the handle to put with the name. Thank you for letting me know. Hi, Marilyn. Lois, hello, hello. We are just waiting a few minutes to let people pop on. About 3 minutes until we'll start. How is everyone doing? Your disguise, huh? Is everybody getting ready for fall, enjoying this cooler weather? I think that I haven't really seen that we're going to get high temperatures again, so I think this is what we're getting for a while, which doesn't bother me. It's perfect sleeping weather for me. Well, hello, Barbara. I'm glad you remembered. Did your alarm go off? Excuse me. We will get started in just a minute or two. And like I said, we are going to talk about the Distress watercolor pencils one more time. You can see that I took mine out of all of the separate containers and threw them into one, which just makes it easier for travel, etc. I think, for me. And like Tim says, he likes to dig around. That doesn't bother me. You're not ready for the cool weather? I am. Not that it was ever really that hot this summer. We didn't have a scorching summer for very long, did we? All right, about 1 more minute and we'll get started. You can see that I did a couple of samples here before I went live. And what we're going to cover today is using the Distress watercolor pencils on stamps. And that gives you a really nice watercolor technique, or watercolor look, which is really nice. Well, Gabrielle, the older I get, the more everything goes by fast. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this is the third installment of our techniques with the new Distress watercolor pencils. Like I said, I put mine all in one container. And what I did here was I used this large skull stamp with 2 colors. It was seedless preserves and walnut stain, and that's what's on here. So seedless preserves and walnut stain on this one, kind of blended together. And then this I wanted to show, so you can see still, and I left it there, I didn't clean it off because I wanted you to see, this is still the pigment that I put on the stamp the first time. And this is stamping 4 times, and I still have all of that pigment on the stamp. So you really do get a lot of life out of the stamp when you fill it up with your pigment. And you can also see on here, this one still has some of the seedless preserve on it also. Because these are water reactive, it makes it really easy to clean up. Just some water or a wipe here. Let's clean these colors off. Give me 1 second. All right, and you can see that's clean-ish, clean enough for me. All right, so what the easiest way to do this, and first I'll say, is it's easier on stamps that have larger space. So this has got, you know, some bigger spots on the stamp. You get a better impression when you've got some larger real estate, I guess, on your stamp. So what I am going to do is I just spray a little spritz on my mat, which you won't be able to see, and then I just roll my pencil around just to wet it a little bit. So you can see it's just got some water on it. And then I like to use the side because it's easier to get some color down instead of the point like this. This just covers more space. So I like to blend a couple of colors. This is Prize Ribbon. We'll do Prize Ribbon and Vintage Photo. So I'm just rolling it in the water again. And we'll get some Vintage Photo on here too. The water just makes it a little bit easier for the pigment to get on your stamp. Now you could just dip your pencil into a glass of water or your water container that you clean your brushes out. Either way. Now to get a good impression, now that you've got some of the pigment down on here, I'm going to take my Distress sprayer and I'm going to give it a couple, probably 3 good sprays, and I'm going to do it off camera because I don't want to spray everything else that's on my table here and get it all wet. Okay, so 3 good sprays, and I'll show you how much water after I get it on there. So you can see here that it's pretty wet. Can you see that? And then we are just going to stamp with purpose. Give some good pressure. Sometimes I might even stand up. And voila. Look at that. Nice watercolory impression. And then we'll just let that dry. Now, you could stamp again. Give it a couple of spritzes of water. Here, I've got another piece of paper here. Spray it with water again, get it wet. And so if you wanted to make a background that you put a few of these images or create a background in your journal. Hey Susan, hello, hello, hi Mary. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? You can even get another impression. All right. Let me see if I have another piece of paper laying around so I can show you how many times you can stamp this just by putting color on it one time. Let's see. Pardon me a moment. I'm just going to grab some paper. This is just some regular paper, but I just want to show you. So this has, I'm pretty sure it's Prize Ribbon. Oops, put that right in my wet water. All right, so I got my pencil wet and I'm going to cover this again. Just put some pigment on. So that's just by getting the pencil a little bit wet and putting some of that color on there. So I'm going to give it a good spray. So that's how wet it is. And we will get 1. These are the brush stroke stamps. 2. And this is just by putting a little spray of water on it again. Really does go a long way. And the water just gets it going again. So now you can see that it's getting a little lighter, but you've still got some color on there. So it really does go quite a long way just by putting the color on there once. So this is my 7th impression. So you get a nice ombre effect. Now it's getting really light, so. But there you go. Look at all that oh, and on my fingers too. Look at all that stamping you can get. And like I said, this is the brush strokes stamp. Sorry, I'm looking for my towel so I can wipe that off. So you can see this is one of the brush stroke stamps. So you really do get quite a bit of use out of that pigment. This was 2 impressions from coloring that skull, which gives you a really great, like I said, a really great watercoloring technique. Does anybody have any questions? The paper that I'm using here is, this paper is Distress Heavy Stock. This paper that I just used is just copy paper, just to show you how many times we could stamp it, which is why it's kind of wrinkling up. But you can see that I took my pencils out of all the containers. So now I've got these great containers that I can put other things in. I already don't know where I put them. I've already lost them. But this just makes it easier for taking with me and finding, because that's where I struggle, finding things. So yeah, if you, this is pretty, it dries pretty quick. If you wanted to double stamp or stamp something else on it, you can give it a blast with the heat gun so that the colors don't mix too much. If you've got background stamps, those are really cool. I've got one of the Tim Holtz big numbers and letters. That one works really well. Yeah, it's numbers. This one. These kinds of stamps work really well for backgrounds. Does really cool things. So yeah, it makes it really easy, Mary, to blend the colors, because you can just draw on the stamps. Gabrielle, do you mean, are there samples of things done with the pencils or projects that are colored with the pencils? I can absolutely bring these samples in the store and leave them there for you to check out if you would like to. That is no problem at all. All right, any other questions? Don't forget, we have our World Card Making Day event this Saturday. The crop room is pretty full. We've only got 4 seats left, but it is going to be super fun. Your kit that you get when you sign up includes a stamp set, a kit for 2 cards, and we're going to have a contest and prizes. You get lunch. So lots and lots of things going on. If you want to join us, hurry up and get signed up. Like I said, there's only 4 seats left, last I checked. And then check out on our Facebook page, pinned to the top, we've got our October events. There are 3 other classes and events that are going on. So looking forward to seeing everybody. Yeah, Susan, I'm glad you're going to be there Saturday. It's going to be fun. Gabrielle, I will take these to the store. That is not a problem. Yep, that's real easy to do. I will be there Saturday. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you to everyone who's going to end up watching the replay. We will see you next Tuesday, because let's see, we don't have our Saturday live this week because we have our big event. So we'll see you next Tuesday for Technique Talk. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it'll be fun. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you soon.